Also forgot to start the recording, so I went ahead and turned that on. Tonight is December 11th at 7:02 p.m. So this is Wednesday night Elmernet. Okay, getting started. Check-ins are in alphabetical segments based on the first letter following the numeral in your call sign. Mobile stations may ignore the roll call segment and check in at any time when it is safe to do so. During check-ins, please respond with your call sign slowly and in standard phonetic along with your first name and whether or not you have traffic. Again, my name is Jim, Kilo Tango 9 Golf, your net control operator for this evening. We're going to go ahead and begin check-ins with any mobile or short time stations. Mobile or short time stations, go ahead. Come now, please. All right, hearing none, we'll go ahead and move on. I got a couple of people who checked in over AIM and one who checked over 220. K9HOG, Jerry, go ahead. Give me Roger, Roger.
Good evening, Roger, Roger, K9HOG.
All right, got you on there. K9MBM, Mike, go ahead. Give me Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger, K9MBM.
Alrighty, got you on there. KD9YJJ, Dan, go ahead and give me Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger, KD9YJJ.
All right, perfect. I got you all on there. Okay, let's start with A Alpha through K Kilo. A Alpha through K Kilo for the Wednesday night Elmernet. Go ahead. Come now, please.
Control, this is Kilo Bravo 9. Join Papa November. Call for check-in. Whiskey 9, Golf Tango, Zulu.
KB9 JPN, Paul, got you on there, and W9GTZ, Jim, got you on there. Anyone else? A Alpha through K Kilo. Go ahead. All right, let's do A Alpha through V Victor. A Alpha through V Victor. Go ahead. Come now, please. All right, let's do A Alpha through Z Zulu. A Alpha through Z Zulu. Go ahead. Come now, please.
This is Kilo Delta 9, Papa Mike Lima. This is Kilo Bravo 9, Victor Sierra Foxtrot, John, no traffic.
KD9 PML, Mike, I got you on there, and then KB9 VSF, John, got you on there with no traffic. Anyone else? A Alpha through Z Zulu. Anybody in the sound of my voice for the Wednesday night Elmernet? Go ahead. Come now, please. All right, hearing none, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Okay, first thing to note tonight, my kid, we just had dinner, and we had delicious steaks and potatoes. We had meat and potatoes, which means that he has quite the blood sugar spike right now, so he's being a bit crazy. And I can't blame him. He likes to talk on the radio, so he asked if he got dressed and did everything with his mother, if he could come down and say hi to you all. So at some point here soon, he's probably going to come running down here and want to say hi. So expect a KT9G third party here in a little bit. For tonight's topic, I wanted to throw out kind of a specific question and then a more general question related. Has anybody made use of Raspberry Pis or kind of the embedded system chipsets like Raspberry Pi, maybe Arduino, or anything else, small form factor, for their ham shacks? And if so, what have you done with it? And how did it work out for you? If you are interested and you have not done it yet, but you are interested, what have you thought about using it for? If you've never used it or know what I'm talking about, you can ask and we can clarify on it. But if you've heard of it but haven't used it yet, is there anything that you would be interested in using it for? And then the more general question would be, what are you running as far as a computer for your ham shack? What do you use it for, kind of things? And keep in mind that more generalized question is designed to think about, is there opportunities for using a smaller, more form factor device for things in your ham shack? So that's the seating topic for tonight. And then, as always, we can always pick it up. He's down here. There he is. Speak of the devil. We can always take questions and answer any other questions as always. So I'll go ahead and bring it up to the top of the list, and we can start with Jerry here, K9HOG. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Well, I'm not using a Raspberry Pi for anything, but just so happens last night at our West Dallas Radio Amateur Club meeting, they had a presentation on the ham clock with the Raspberry Pi. So that was pretty interesting. It's amazing what it all does, with just a inexpensive Raspberry Pi on there, and I believe it's a free download for the ham clock. So it's pretty neat there. Yeah, I myself, I just have just a regular old HP that I got hooked up to with a CAD cable to my Yaesu for logging and that kind of stuff. But I don't use it to anywhere near its full capacity, nor do I plan on it. So I just want to be in here and talk on the radio and do the KISS method. I'm glad GTZ Jim got here because we had a conversation Monday on antennas. So maybe he can get his question answered here. Back to net control, K9HOG.
Yeah, K9HOG, KT9G, net control. Yeah, ham clock's a good app. I have a tablet that I used to have up all the time with ham clock on it, and when I was running dual monitors for radio stuff, I had ham clock running on it. They came out with some new stuff actually recently, but I was using ham clock for a couple of years. Well, right when I first started, I found out about it, and then I stopped using it for a little while, and then I came back to it, and then I haven't used it a ton. But I haven't turned the 7300 on in a while. I was doing a bit more FT8, and I had it up. But that's a great app. So if no one else knows what we're talking about, or if you haven't heard of it before, you can look online. I think Clear Skies Institute is the name of the company or the group that makes it. It's called Ham Clock. It's got a lot of really cool map features, propagation information, solar flare index numbers, all sorts of fun stuff on it. So it's a cool little app. All right, K9MBM, Mike, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Okay, good evening, everybody on the net. This is K9MBM. Let's see here. It's probably my fault, everybody, that I asked Jim to seed the topic for tonight. So, because I'm really curious to see what anybody's interested in or what they're using. I'm using the Raspberry Pi Zero for a hotspot for DMR running Pi-Star. And I have another hotspot that I built. The first one there I use for DMR and the Brandmeister and TGIF network, and then there's one more that I use it for. And then I have another Raspberry Pi 3 that I built that runs Pi-Star as well, and I'm using it for D-Star currently, running Pi-Star software on there. And a current project that I want to build, I'm working on it, I ordered all the stuff, is I wanted to put together a police scanner so I can scan the Waukesha and Milwaukee County police, fire, rescue, you name it. They're all on 800 megahertz, and they're running P25 digital trunk. And you can set up a Pi-Star, or excuse me, a Pi 05 is what I'm building up with a little 10-inch monitor and then I'm running SDR trunk software on it. So I've currently got it running on Windows with my SDR Play, but it really consumes a lot of resources on the computer. I just don't want my main computer tied up. And I also run APRS software on 144.390 and talk to the International Space Station when it comes over too on their digipeater. So that's kind of what I use the computer and ham radio related to. So never used ham clock though. It's up new. Jim, I'll throw it back to you. Hopefully we got some interest here on people that might want to build some projects. KT9G, K9MBM.
Yeah, KA9MBM, KT9G. Yeah, good. Thanks for the background on that. Hold on, you have to wait your turn, buddy. All right, KT9G third party is here and would like to say goodnight to everybody. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, say KT9G third party 73 is goodnight.
No.
Oh, what do you want to say? Hello?
Yeah. Hello, what's your name? Hello, what's your name?
Hello, what's your name?
Yeah.
Oh, you're singing oh, that song. Okay. All right, so you say, hello, what's your name? Nice to meet you?
No.
Okay. All right. Can you say 73's good night?
73 night.
All right. Okay, hold on. Let me break for 1 second, and then I'll jump back in. Give me 1 second. All right. Yeah. No. Thanks for that background. Yeah. If anyone else has any of those projects going on, I know a lot about Pis. I know a lot about using them. I've never bought one to have personally. I've played with them, but I don't own one, and I really should because there's a lot of fun stuff that you can do with it. So, all right. KD9YJJ. Dan, go ahead. Floor is yours.
KD9YJJ. Yeah, I was at the same meeting Jerry was last night too, and we had one heck of a demonstration on that ham clock and stuff. And yeah, it's amazing what that can all do. And yeah, kind of interested in it. Don't know about 90% of what it all does and what some of it means, but it is very interesting. Hey, Jim, on a side note, I sent you an email a little earlier tonight about a situation with a person at work. I know you're busy, and if you don't have time to get to it, that's okay, but I just wanted to let you know in case, I don't know if you check your email all the time. Anyway, yeah, I don't have any projects going on right now. I just have my little Dell laptop that I take. I've got a bunch of stuff loaded on it, like NetLogger and I think FT8 and JS8 and a couple other things. I haven't really played with it as much as I'd like to. Hopefully I'll get some more time maybe over winter when there's less time to be outside with cooperating weather. So anyway, KD9YJJ, back to net control.
Okay, yeah, KD9YJJ, KT9G, net control. I will, I'll check my email. I probably check my email like once a day. On yeah, that account, yeah. So I will take a look at it after the net, and I'll get back to you. No, sounds good. I've got, I think the tablet that I mentioned that I used to run ham clock on, or I mean, ham clock's still on it, but it's a small tablet, so if I run ham clock, it's like dedicated to it. That's the one that I use for like poto work when I do like digital modes. I still have not yet uploaded the photos from when I was in Arizona because they are very cool photos. I keep saying that and I never do it. I've got the wire strung up on top of a parking garage in the middle of a city. It looks very cyberpunk, post-apocalyptic, inner city, calm looking. It's fun. So I'll try and get those photos uploaded so you guys can check that out. All right, KB9JPN. Paul, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Control, this is KB9JPN. Well, gentlemen, if you haven't heard the word lately, it is here now. I do not know what a ham clock is, nor do I know what a Raspberry Pi is. So, it's all new to me. Could somebody explain what each one of those is, please?
Yeah, sure. So first, the ham clock is just a piece of software. I believe it runs on everything. But it's basically just a screen that shows you time and solar flare index information, propagation information, man, there's a ton of things. So it's supposed to kind of be just a wall, like a dashboard for you to look at while you're doing ham radio stuff. You can do integrations with it so that you can see distances and propagations to specific stations. It will show you propagation reports from other stations that are reporting back to ham clock. It's basically just a dashboard of information that you can load as a piece of software, and it has some pretty maps and all sorts of fun stuff. So that's what ham clock is. And then Raspberry Pis are basically small form factor PCs. They're tiny little chipsets, probably about the size of a 3x5 index card would be the best way to describe it. And it's a full computer. It runs a fork of Debian Linux called Raspbian. I don't think they call it that anymore. I think it's just called Raspberry Pi OS now. It used to be called Raspbian, but it's based off Debian. It might have forked further from it, and that's why they changed the name. I don't know. But it's for smaller things, but it's a full PC. So people will build tablets with them. People will build kind of like control type things, touchscreen controllers, all sorts of fun stuff with it. Arduino, on the other hand, is another small form factor PC thing, but those are a bit more like integrated systems, more for industrial control style stuff, servo management, automation types things, home automation stuff. But Raspberry Pi, some people will load those up and use those for their ham shack computers. One of the main benefits is because it's such a small form factor, there's not a lot of RF that comes out of them, so they're really good for shacks. So that's what those are. I'll throw it back to you and let you have any follow-ups if you got any. Go ahead.
Control, this is KB9JPN. What sounds very interesting, and the closest thing I have to a Raspberry Pi would be, it's a small PC, Milwaukee PC as a matter of fact, laptop, and I also have a desk computer, but let's and hexadecimal, base 16, octal, base 8, and binary, base 2. But that's all, I mean, that's just something that I'm doing now that's related to computers. That control, this is KB9JPN, and it's a good topic, but I won't be able to add much to it, but I'm going to try to pick up something here from learning it from you fellas. So, net control, KB9JPN.
KB9JPN, KT9G, net control. Yeah, sounds good. No worries. Yeah, and if you just want to listen, pick it up. That's perfectly fine. And then that is a fun tangent to get down to. I would actually put that more in mathematics than computer science. It definitely comes into play in computer science, but the different base numbering systems is a lot of fun. I have I wonder if I can find it. I wrote a really interesting paper about that while I was in college. Really fun things to do in different base numbers. And there's a really fun book that I have. He shows how to count in different base numbers on your hands. If you like count in binary using your fingers instead of normal base 10, you can count all the way up to 511, I think. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, have fun with that. Let me know if you want to chat about that another time. W9GTZ, Jim, go ahead. Floor is yours.
W9GTZ. I do have ham clock loaded. I put it on I have it on a standalone monitor and computer. It's connected only to my computer for Wi-Fi, or for not Wi-Fi, but for internet information. I use the Quattro, which is completely standalone. You don't need Linux. I tried to download the Windows version of Linux, but you have to, the Windows version of ham clock, but then you got to download this, whatever you need to convert the Linux into, I think it's Linux, whatever the operating system is, into Windows, and I got all messed up. I ended up spending $49 on the Quattro, which wasn't much more than a Pi, and it's completely plug and play. It was just so much easier to set up and make work. Paul, if you want to know what it looks like, if you got QRZ, if you look at my page on QRZ, there's a picture of my shack with two monitors. The monitor on the right has ham clock on it. The colorful one is ham clock. I'm going to reset. All right. I also yesterday bought SDR Play for. What did I buy it for? Oh, I bought it so I could use waterfall and spectroscope on my along with my Winfrey Yazoo that I also use on my computer. So far, I've got it working, but it's going to take me a lifetime to figure out all the controls on the SDR Play Uno. But you actually can receive. The nice thing I like about it is I can be here talking to you guys on this frequency, and I can be monitoring another frequency on the SDR Play. And by the way, I bought it down at HRO. I had to pick something up right behind there and bought it at HRO yesterday. And they've got a marked down $20 right now at $219, which is 20 off of the normal $139. At that, I'll mention after this round where I'm at with it, my question with antennas. Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu.
Yeah, Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu, Kilo Tango 9 Golf. Sounds good. So for Windows, I assume what they might ask you to do is something called Windows subsystems for Linux, and very nice of them. Since Windows 10, they have embedded a Linux kernel-esque. I don't know if it's really an emulator or if it's full. It does require you turning on hypervisor functionality, so it might be a full kernel level. I haven't looked into it too much, but you can turn on what's called subsystems or Windows subsystems for Linux or something like that, WSL. So you can run Linux programs and bash scripts and all sorts of fun stuff on Windows. If you go to clearskysinstitute.com/ham/hamclock, you'll see everything on there. They've got install instructions on how to do it for Raspberry Pi and how to do it for Unix type systems. So you're right. This looks like it's Linux only. I don't see anything in here. Oh wait. Oh yeah, Windows. Yeah, WSL. So yes, you can do it on Windows, but you do it through WSL. I just saw that. Okay, so I was right. All right. I've never run it on Windows, but if you go to clearskysinstitute.com, you can see what it looks like. It's a pretty cool program, and it gives you a lot of really good information. It's really nice to have like a separate monitor, like up in your shack if you've got the space for it. So. Yeah, we'll get to your antenna question on the next round. So let's go ahead and pass it down. KD9PML, Mike, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Jim. This is KD9PML. Pies, Adrenos, awesome stuff. Love them. Use lots of them. Never done a ham clock, only because I got a geochron. Like it, love it. But I use Pies and Adreno boards for, I track weather balloons, love it, that's my new in thing. The GO satellites, the other NOAA satellites, getting weather information. You got to do All-Star, of course, and a lot of Pi-Star. So typically at any given time, I'm running like 5 Raspberry Pis on different things. Right now, I think I got 7 or 8 running, so love them, use them, gotta have it.
Nice. All right. I mean, we're at the half-hour mark, so I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of time here. KD9PML, I want you, if you're comfortable, can you just, you don't have to go in depth, but I would love to hear what each, you said that you have a handful of pies. Can you give me the use case for each one? Like even if it's not ham related, like if it's home automation or if you've got one for, I mean, hell, like controlling your the blinds on your windows if you've got like a really fancy Tony Stark house or something. Can you kind of talk about, because that might help others understand like the limitless of these tools, like what you can do with these things. Would you be willing to go ahead and do that? Go ahead.
WI9MRC repeater.
Definitely. Give me a minute. I got to write down a list. It's all ham radio. I don't have Pies doing anything else, or Adrenos, but it's definitely all Pi stuff, but I'll have to write down a list. I definitely have, like, the digital mode, DMR, Pi Star running, then I got the P25. Give me a minute. I'll write it all down.
Okay, yeah, no worries. How about this? We'll go through the list again, and then when it gets to your turn again, you can go ahead and spit it out. So we'll let you go through a full round. I'll let you put your thoughts together, and then we can do it. So because that brings us to the bottom of the list and the bottom of the half-hour mark. So let's go ahead and see, is there anybody else out there, A Alpha through Z Zulu, who'd like to go ahead and join the Wednesday Night Elmernet? Go ahead. Come on up, please.
K9 TTM. Just in the background, Jim. Enjoying the conversation, just listening to you guys.
KD9 TGM, KT9G. I got you on there, and I have to admit, when I asked and it went quiet, I said your call sign, just like as a joke, because I was like, oh, he's gonna call in, and he did. Loyal listener, that's how I know. I'm gonna make a sticker, loyal listener of the Elmernet. I'm gonna send it to you. All right, thanks for coming in. Anyone else? A Alpha through Z Zulu, go ahead. All right, hearing none. We'll swing back up to the top, but before we do, like I said, I do not have any of the small form factors, but what I do have is I do have some small form factor PCs. I don't have anything as small as a Pi. I do have a GR9. Well, it's a little bit bigger than a Pi, and I was running a hypervisor on it. I don't want to get too deep into it, but I've got a couple of things. But what I like to do with those is just kind of like dedicated instances for things, which I think when we get back to KD9 PML, when it's his turn again at the bottom of the list, you'll get a better idea of kind of what that means. So I don't have a ton. The only other thing that I've done recently that kind of Mike was talking about, K9MBM, was the P25 trunking. I did do that with a just a standard PC and a SCR dongle, so that was kind of fun. I think we might have talked about that last week, so I won't take too much time on that. So let's go ahead and bring it up at the top of the list, and we'll go ahead with round two here. So K9HOG, Jerry, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Yeah, I can't really say too much about computers, so about the only thing I use the computer for is doing my logging. So that's about the end of my technology with computers. But Jim, I almost forgot. I don't know if you're aware of this. Your son might like to do it because you could talk on the radio. On 3.916 at 7 o'clock local every night is Santa Claus. And so again, 3.916, and your son could talk on the radio to Santa Claus. And as soon as I haven't heard Karen on here, just a public service announcement. Next week, Wednesday, is the 9-1's Christmas party. So if anybody wants to go to that, it's posted on the website and also on Facebook. So the information is all there. Just Karen's looking for a account for food. There will be food there. So that's all I got. K9HOG, back to control.
All right, K9HOG, KT9G. Net control. Yeah. So I thank you for reminding me. I completely forgot about that. I did know Santa on the air. Can't call it soda anymore because people get confused. But I remember that. Can you give me that frequency one more time real quick? Go ahead.
I'll aim it over to you.
Oh, okay, yeah, perfect. That works. Yeah, so I do know Santa on the air. He gets on 80 meters, or 75 rather, and kids can jump on his third party and talk to Santa over the radio and ask for what they want for Christmas. And I've heard of it. I know that it's been a thing, and it's super cute. I always hoped that the guy who was doing it was in North Pole, And hilariously, what I mean by that is my phone contact that I made for Alaska on 80 meters was North Pole, Alaska. There's a town in Alaska called North Pole, and that's the guy that I got my 80-meter phone single sideband contact from in Alaska. He's from North Pole, Alaska, so I just thought that was funny. So I was always hoping that he might be the guy that did it, but I don't know if he is or not. But anyway, thanks for that. I will check AIM, and I will write that down. All right, KA9MBM. Mike, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yeah, K9MBM returning. Interesting. Yeah, I'd like to hear the other station here that's got like 7 of the Raspberry Pis running. That'd be interesting. I currently have 2, Pi 0 and a Pi 3, both running Pi Star as hotspots. For one DMR and the other one is D Star. I know you can get a different hat, which is the RF board that plugs in the top of it for analog, which is needed for All-Star. Haven't done it yet. I was just telling Jim there, the net control here, the other day, is that the Raspberry Pis have come down in price, unbelievable. I got involved a couple years ago with the Raspberry Pis, and for doing hotspots, and they were very expensive. I know it was supply and demand type of situation, but they were really expensive. But now they've dropped considerably in price. So if anybody wants to buy a Raspberry Pi, you can get them from Amazon. They sell them in some other places too. Now's the time to buy them. So, and then I'm setting up another project with a Raspberry Pi 5 to do P25 trunk on the 800 megahertz band, so I can pick up police, fire departments, and a bunch of stuff on in Waukesha County and Milwaukee County. So kind of interesting. I got that working, and right now I'm set on the Waukesha County frequencies. I can pick them up through Muskego. They have a transmitter site there, and I can actually get access to all of Milwaukee County just through the Waukesha there. They're all connected together. It's kind of neat. Back to you, Jim. KT9G, K9MBM.
KA9MBM, KT9G. Yep, sounds good. Ooh, my brain shut off. I had a follow-up comment, and I forgot what it was. Whoops. Oh, that was the other thing. Raspberry Pis, one of the big use cases that I have seen for it is, I think I made a mention about it earlier, was home automation and home networking. Pi-hole, that's the other one. And for anybody who's interested in it, a Raspberry Pi can be set up as a kind of an intermediate, non-authoritative DNS server in your house, and you download, and it's an open source list of domains that have been flagged as advertisements, tracking, malware, phishing, pornography, drug abuse, anything that you would consider bad, and it will block it for you on your network. So you can set these little Raspberry Pis up as a Pi-hole, put it on your network, and set that server as your DNS server, and that will mitigate a whole bunch of stuff. It'll do a lot of ad blocking for you. It'll do a lot of malicious blocking for you. Do all sorts of fun stuff. So I run Pi-hole at home. I run it virtualized though. I don't run them on Raspberry Pis. But that's another fun little project that you can do with Raspberry Pis too. So I just wanted to throw that out because it popped up in my head that it's called Pi-hole because it was originally designed for the Raspberry Pis. So, all right, the frequency was 3916, lower sideband, 8 p.m. Central every night for Santa on the Air. All right, thank you for that. I got that. All right, KD9YJJ. Dan, go ahead. Floor is yours.
KD9YJJ. Yeah, I'd be a little more interested in hearing about the scanner bit. Years ago, I was into the police scanners when you had the old, I don't know, I guess you'd call them the old Radio Shack type scanners. I had quite a few of them at one time. And then the Milwaukee started first. They switched to the IP, whatever that was, and basically made all those scanners obsolete. So if you're able to pick that stuff up now in Milwaukee, Waukesha County, and I think just about all the state has switched to that new type of scanner technology. I don't remember offhand exactly. For a while there, I read up on it and knew quite a bit about it, and I know the troubles Milwaukee had getting it going, and a lot of issues with it, but I guess they've got it all pretty refined now. So I'd like to pick that up and learn a little bit more about that so that I could start. Enjoyed listening to scanners. They were kind of a lot of fun back in the day when they were the old type where you had to actually program the frequencies in. Each city, had their own frequency for this and that, and fire and police, and you covered sometimes 2 or 3 cities on one frequency. But I know that's all changed, and I guess I'd like to catch back up on that again because I'd be interested in learning more about it and getting back into it. So, KD9YJJ, back to net control, Jim.
Yeah, KD9YJJ, KT9G net control. So, yeah, P25, I think, is what you were referring to, if I'm not mistaken. And it's like the trunking system. And there are several software options for it. I went with a software called Unitrunker, and that's what I played with. And it worked really, really well out of the box. My downside is the bandwidth or the range of frequencies for all of the trunked frequencies, I think is about 4 megahertz-ish. I think somewhere in there, maybe 3.5, 4 megahertz. And my SDR can only do about 2 megahertz bandwidth monitoring at any given time. So if I'm monitoring the control channel, which is up at the top end, if the trunk throws me a frequency to follow that's outside of the range that I can monitor, I just lose it. So I can only hear about half the conversations, but it works. It works really well. Now, with an SDR play, those beasts can do like 10 megahertz of bandwidth monitoring at a time. So no problems there. Mine was like $30. I just bought a cheap one for playing with it, so that's on me or whatever. A lot of the good ones have wider ranges, so it's not a problem. From my point of view, or from my experience, it's very easy to set up. If you want to set up something a bit more permanent, with a wider range, you got to get a little bit better SDR. SDR plays plenty. AirSpy SDRs are good. I think those do 4 megahertz, so that's plenty. And then a Raspberry Pi to do constant monitoring that you can kind of remote into and pick up whenever you want. That's good. I think I'll let others talk about that. But there's a lot of software out there. There's a lot of really fun things that you can do with it, and it makes it pretty easy. So keep listening. We'll chat more about it. KA9 or KB9JPN. Paul, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Control, this is KB9JPN. Well, gentlemen, I want you to know it sounds very interesting to me. It fascinates me just what a computer can do. But I really don't know enough about the situation or the topic, really. I don't know anything about it hardly. And just what I learned here tonight, that's as far as it went, and I understood very little of it, but I'm going to bow out net control, and I thank you for holding the net. It's very nice of you to be control operator tonight on net control. And I thank you for that, and I thank you for all you gentlemen for giving your input. So, net control 73, everybody, into all 73. This is Kilo Bravo 9, Juliet Papa November. I'll be clear on your final.
All right, yeah, K9JPN, Paul, Kilo Tango 9 Golf, net control, Jim here. 73s, have a great night. Glad that you could come in. Glad you could pick up some stuff. I do know that you have been playing around with some computers and whatnot recently, so keep having fun with that. 73s and have a great night. All right, W9GTZ. Jim, go ahead. Floor is yours.
W9GTZ. Well, I guess when I tried to load the ham clock the first time on the Windows 10, you had to download Ubuntu WSL and then go into the Windows prompt command, and they actually gave you a list of things you could copy and paste into there, which was nice. And I got to entering my information, and somewhere along the line I made a mistake, so I started clicking delete letter by letter to go back and erase my mistake because it was quite a ways up. And when I got up to the top, I realized that I deleted my password on the way up, and I couldn't remember what the password was. And I tried posting anywhere I could think of for somebody that could tell me how I could retrieve my password. It wouldn't let me issue a new one. It wouldn't let me. I downloaded the Ubuntu, started all over again, and it wouldn't let me put a password in. It took me right back to where I was. So I gave up, and that's when I bought the Quattro, and I was happy I did because it was so easy to load. Unfortunately, just in recent week, he announced that he's had pancreatic cancer, and it's turned for the worst, and he's no longer going to ship them. He was going to ship what he had in stock. He wasn't going to make any more and going to close up shop. So I think they're probably gone by now. So the Quattros are not available anymore. Incidentally, on hand clock, right now, the propagation in the South America, on 17 meters is really quite good. It's in the 70 or 80% chance of making contact down there, and it was running on up into the edge of Russia. It's kind of neat to be able to look at it and see where your chances of doing well are. And then lastly, my question was, Jim, and it's really ham clock related too, is one of the settings for the propagation is they ask you to set in your takeoff angle on your antenna of 1 degree, 3 degrees, or 9 degrees. And I'm wondering if anybody knows the takeoff angle of a long wire antenna, or not a long wire, an end-fed wire, 84-foot end wire, multi-band end-fed, mounted about 25 feet off the ground, horizontal to the ground. Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu, back to net control.
Yeah, Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu, Kilo Tango 9 Golf, net control. So for a wire, I think it changes per band a little bit. You might have to throw an analyzer on it. But I would probably put 9. If that's the most that they offer, I would feel like it would be more than that for an end-fed wire 25 feet off the ground, especially on the lower bands. I didn't realize that it asked you that. I was never asked that. I haven't installed it recently. I haven't used it in a little while, so I don't know. I have no idea what my takeoff angles are on any of my stuff. I can't answer that. So hopefully someone else can. But let me speed it along. We'll do one more full round here. Let me pass it down to the next guy. Hopefully someone can get you an answer, and then we'll do one more round, and then we can 73 out. So KD9 PML. Mike, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Net Control. This is KD9 PML. Yeah, I run a lot of pies. Multiples for Pi Star, DMR, C4FM, P25. There you go, 3. I don't like using the same one for each because when you got nets going on at the same time, they don't really work well, trying to catch it all. I run a couple for NOAA satellites. You got the GO satellites, the GeoSync sats, and then the other ones, the older ones, the 11, I don't even remember the numbers, 11, 15, and 16 are still up there. Shooting down satellite imagery that rotate around the world. They're cool. Weather balloons, gotta have one for that. Tracking weather balloons coming from the area. You can hook up multiple SDRs to track that, but definitely it takes a lot of memory, so gotta have a dedicated Pi for that. All-Star Link, come on, you gotta have it. You want to be hooked up to 1 or 2 rooms. 1 Pi is okay. You want to monitor more than that, gotta get more. That's pretty much it, unless you want to do a trunking scanner, then you gotta have a Pi, a couple SDRs. You got things going on. Jim, passing it back to you. Have a good night. I'm going to say 73 for now. This is KD9 PML.
All right, KD9 PML, KT9G, Net Control. 73s, have a great night. Thanks for sticking with us to let those know that what you got going on there. So, sounds good. All right, let me do one quick call out here, and then we'll run through the list again. Is there anybody else out there who would like to come in towards the end of the Wednesday night Elmer Net? Go ahead, come now, please. All right, hearing none, we'll go ahead and bring it up to the top of the list. We are 5 minutes to the top of the hour, so I will leave it up to you. We will do a second round after this, a 73 round after this, but if you want to say your 73s, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, you can hang around. So, K9HOG, Jerry, go ahead. Floor is yours.
I don't have too much to say here, but I'm glad I was able to finally get on a Wednesday night. I will say 7-3s to everybody, and have a good evening. K9HOG.
Yeah, no worries. Hey, real quick, K9HOG, did you sign up and get a membership with the Ole Miss, the Old Man International Sideband Society? Go ahead.
Yes, I do have one. I signed up. It's either early in spring or else it was last year, so it's been a while.
Okay, I just thought it funny because I pulled you into the NetLogger and your member ID popped up and it matches your Ole Miss number. So I don't know why I'm synced to Ole Miss on this. I shouldn't be because we're on our own net, but I thought it was funny. You're 15212, so I thought it was funny. All right, 73s. Have a great night. I hope to catch you next week. All right, moving down the line. K9MBM, Mike, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Okay, K9MBM, the net. Well, let's see here. There's a long laundry list of things here to comment on. Jim, on the SDR that you have, the RTL-SDR, I'm looking at the version 3 specs on it. I know you got the version 4. It says 2.4 megahertz bandwidth stable. And then the frequencies that we're trying to deal with are like 851, 852, and 853, but it's only portions of those, and they're all kind of close together. Kind of looking at it, the 2.5 megahertz probably barely fits in there. So I think it, all depends. So I think we should be able to do that. It might be the software, or you might have to do a calibration adjustment on your the software to the SDR. That's one thing you have to do. And if you don't do that, then the P25 trunking software won't work right. At least I know I have to do it on the SDR trunk software. That's one thing you have to do. On the other station that was asking about an angle for the ham clock, if your antenna is only 25 feet off the ground, the lower frequencies, I would say, probably 15 meter, well, anything lower than the 15 meter band, so 21 megahertz, anything lower than that, I would say is pretty much going to go straight up, especially like 80, 40 meters, 30, 20 meters, not quite straight up. You'll have somewhat of an angle on there. The lower to the ground you are with your antenna, and the lower the frequency, the more it's going to go straight up. So that's when, unless you got a vertical. If you got a vertical, then you got a low angle of radiation for this signal. I'm going to reset here so I can comment a little bit more. Okay. So if you got a multi-band end-fed antenna 25 feet off the ground, like I said, if you're doing 80, 40, 30, most of it's going to go straight up. It's going to be NVIS type of signal. The other ones, if you're going to do, I would say 15 meters and 10 and 12, there you're going to get a pretty good takeoff angle because you need to be at least a half wavelength above the ground, whatever band you're working at. Then you'll have a pretty good takeoff angle on it. So to figure out the takeoff angle on any of the bands based on 25 feet, you need a antenna analyzing software where you can feed in the type of antenna and the feed, how, the height of it and all that stuff, and it will give you the takeoff angle. You can kind of look at an antenna handbook as well, the AWL handbook for antennas. That'll get you close, ballpark. But if you want it more accurate, you'd have to use a piece of computer software to do it. Yes, on the other station that was interested in scanners and all that, you're right. Everything's switched over for Waukesha, Milwaukee County to digital. So it'd be a digital signal over RF to be similar to like DMR or D-Star or Yaesu's Fusion. And also it's trunk, so that means that it's switching frequencies. You have a control frequency which dictates what the frequency that the dispatch or the returning station is going to be communicating on. There's about 15 frequencies, 13 or 15 different 800 megahertz frequencies that are you would be switching between. So, Jim, back to you. I'm running out of time here before I time out. So, KT9G, net control to take it, K9MBM.
WI9MRC, repeater.
Yeah, K9MBM, KT9G. Sounds good. No, good info. And then, yeah, I For the SDR, I thought I saw a spec sheet that said something about 1.94 megahertz, but I just looked it up again. It says 2.4, so maybe you're right. I wasn't having a problem with it, but I do know that there were some lower ones that I never saw light up, and every once in a while I felt like I was missing half a conversation. So the even with 2.4, the farthest one out might have been missing. So who knows? We'll see. I can play with it again, see what happens. I do know that for the ones that were within range, it was working perfectly fine. So I could hear plenty. I heard the dispatch every time, but then responses sometimes were here or there. So, all right, KD9YJJ. Dan, go ahead. Floor is yours.
KD9YJJ. Yeah, thanks, Jim, for hosting another great Elmer Net tonight. A lot of good topics and discussion. Got me very interested. I'm doing some research on some Raspberry Pis now. I see they got the 5 out there, and you can buy it in the kit that comes with everything except the keyboard, mouse, and monitor. So it looks kind of interesting, and it's only like $159, so definitely very reasonable. And very interested in learning more about, like I said, the scanning and setting it up to scan and follow the trunking and all that stuff again. So I'm going to say 73s because I've got a couple things to get done. So I appreciate it. Again, great net tonight. Appreciate it, Jim. KD9YJJ, back to net control.
All right, KD9YJJ, KT9G, net control. 73s, have a great night. Yeah, let me know how that goes. We'll chat about it next week, maybe. Well, yeah, I'll say it now at the end of the net here in case anyone's still listening. We're most likely going to skip. We missed the POTA activation last month. We're probably going to skip it this month. Holiday season's here, and so everyone's really busy, so just don't even worry about it. All right, W9GTZ. Jim, go ahead. Floor is yours.
W9GTZ. Just a comment on the SDR play. It receives, the receiver is good for 1 kilohertz to 2 gigahertz, so it's really wide band, and it seems to work pretty good. I just started playing with it this afternoon. So it's got a wide band receiver. As far as that antenna takeoff angle, as far as I know, the lower the angle, the better your chances are of DX, because it goes out at a lower angle and skips better. It takes longer to hit the top of the, to hit the top zone. I think, and when they say 1 degree, 3 degrees, or 9 degrees, I believe that's the elevation from the ground, not from the top down, but from the ground up, unless I'm mistaken. And that, when I go to ham clock, actually, Jim, by the way, ham clock, it was in the vol cap that they ask you for the takeoff angle to calculate your vol cap. And when I do it, when I go to 9 degrees, the propagation drops really sharply. When I go down to 1 degree, it goes up drastically, and 3 degrees is somewhere in the middle. So I believe that to be the case, and I'm a far way from an expert. I'm still fighting my way through trying to learn how to turn this thing on. Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu, back to net control.
Yeah, Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu, Kilo Tango 9 Golf. I mean, I will say this. I had ham clock running here at the shack for a pretty long time. It never helped me. It was cool. It had a lot of good information on it, but the propagation reporting, I never cared for it. It didn't. Now, I am running an 80 through 10 wire across my backyard at like 20 feet off the ground. So, as KA9MBM was saying, for the lower bands, I'm pumping straight up. So my propagation is going to be at the behest of the environment around me and what's going on. So I believe, and this may be wrong, but I believe that the propagation reporting from ham clock is kind of an aggregate of what other people are reporting. I don't know how it calculates it, but I don't want to badmouth anything, but I don't trust it. I don't use it. I do run ham clock. There's a lot of really good stuff on there, but I don't worry about the propagation reporting. My propagation reporting that I like to use is I just use FT8, and I will throw out there. I'll use JS8 to get an idea of who can hear me. I'll send a heartbeat out, and that's my best way of doing it. It's just like actual live data, but it looks cool. And there is a lot of really good information on it, but the propagation reporting, I kind of started to ignore it. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer or anything, and I'm sure that if you set it up right, it might work, but I didn't even know that you could set the angle of radiation on it, so that's me being an ignorant user. So, all right, we are 10 over. We're at the bottom of the list. Let me do one more call out. See, is there anybody else out there who would like to go ahead and join the Wednesday night Elmer net for the 73 round? A Alpha through Z Zulu. Go ahead, come out, please.
Kilo Delta 9, Julia Tango, India.
This is Kilo Sierra 9er, Quebec.
Yeah, that last station ending in Quebec, can you throw me your call sign one more time? I missed the first part.
Sure. Kilo Sierra 9er, Quebec, KS9Q.
Oh, KS9Q, Jim, got you on there. All right, good to hear you. All right, so we are 10 minutes over. We're gonna go ahead and start our 73 round, but I will go ahead and pick up the last the two newcomers. Let me do one more call out just to make sure. Anyone else? A Alpha through Z Zulu. Go ahead.
89 TGM. Yeah. Just still in the background, Jim. I'm going to say 73s, but quick question for the next 2 weeks, the next 2 Wednesdays. Are we going to sit up there and have a net? Because I'm going to be off both nights, so I'm just curious. So I'm going to be sitting at home in the basement on the net. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll answer that question real quick. Christmas is Wednesday, isn't it? Right? Isn't it? I don't have a calendar in front of me. I thought it was. We won't be doing the Wednesday night net if it's on Christmas. We're just not going to do it. But I will be here for every other week. So I plan on doing the Elmer net every week this week except for Christmas. Does that answer your question?
No, it does. It does. Yeah, because I'm going to be off Christmas Eve and Christmas and New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So I was just curious. I don't know if you're wanting to do it or not, or anybody who's going to be interested or whatnot. But again, all right. Like I said, I'll go ahead and say 73s. Let's be in the background. KD9 TGM.
Yeah, no worries. KD9 TGM 73s. Have a great night. Yeah, the only reason is because I have my wife's family is coming up to our house for Christmas, and so everyone will be here, and people will be spending the night, and we're going to be doing movies and all sorts of stuff. So I will be stacked. I don't want to ask anyone to do it Christmas night. So everyone enjoy their Christmas. Now that being said, maybe I can get them all excited to play around on the radios. We can chat. We'll be there. The repeater's always up. The repeater doesn't take off. So go ahead and call out. Say Merry Christmas and see how many people come back. All right, KD9 JTI Greg, go ahead. We're on 73 rounds, so say your hello, goodbye, and if you've got any questions, go ahead.
Well, I don't know why I thought you started KD9. I don't know why I thought you started at 8. I forgot you started at 7. Yeah, I do have a weird question. I had Debian with the Cinnamon desktop, and I wanted to put some app icons on my desktop, and I went to the general, where you might say the general pool where all the icons are. I noticed dozens of my icons were missing, including the one I wanted to put up on the desktop. I thought, what the heck, where did they all go now? And I couldn't find them. I had no idea where he went. And I got all bent out of shape, and I thought, well, okay, I'll start over again. So I reinstalled Debian with GNOME desktop, but I thought, well, maybe it's better off with that, I don't know. But have you ever experienced that?
KD9, JTI, KT9G, net control. No, I haven't, actually. That sounds interesting. So I understand. You go to like the start menu, as it were, and then it pops up the screen where all of the applications are. I think Mac is kind of similar in how it does that. And a bunch of stuff was missing. So no, I don't know. I can take a look and maybe have an answer for you next week. But besides that, like I said, yeah, we are at the end, so I can't die. I don't know if anyone else is going to be able to answer that, but maybe on the 73 round. So we'll see if anyone else has got an answer as to that. But sorry, I'm out on that one. So all right, sounds good. Let me drop it down to KS9Q. Jim, go ahead. Floor is yours. We are on the 73 round, so if you want to say hello, goodbye, go ahead.
Okay, very good. Well, good evening to the net. I just happened to remember tonight's the Elmer net. I thought I would pop in. Didn't realize it started at 7, so I'll keep that in mind for next time around. I'll just drop a quick suggestion as far as if you want a quickie means of knowing where the bands are at. If you use your memories and program the FT8 frequencies into various memory channels, I do that for my mobile installation, and just name the channel Beacon 40, Beacon 20, Beacon 15, and it lets you step through them very quickly, and you get a real quick idea of what's active and what isn't, because there's almost always FT8 on an open band. So that's all I got for tonight. We will turn it back to the net and say 7-3. This is KS9Q.
Yeah, KS9Q, KT9G. Sounds good. Yeah, that's a good call out. You can just tune to the FT8 frequency and see how obnoxiously eerie sounding it is at any given time. For daytime on 40 meters, I will always suggest mid-cars 7.5, 7.825, 7.528. Oh man, I can't remember what it is. It's the 40 meter frequency I usually play on when I'm driving, because there's always someone on there, and you can get a good propagation report from them. So if you're at your base shack, look up mid-cars 40 meters 7.825. Yeah, I think that's it. And you can pick some stuff up there. So, all right, 73s. Have a great night. All right, that brings us to the top of the list, and we're doing our 73 round KA9MBM. Go ahead. Floor is yours. 73s.
Okay, let me make sure I got it. Yeah, sounds good on there. Yeah, I'm gonna try Jim, net control Jim. The like I said, the version 3 that I'm going to go after, it says that it's 2.5 megahertz. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But according to for the project, the guy used that and the Raspberry Pi 5, and I'm going after that Raspberry Pi 5 for the 159 there, where you get the whole box, the case and everything, and then a touch screen. So I'll put it together, and like I said, you do with the SDR trunk software, you actually have to run through a calibrate. Now, I don't know, Jim, if the software that you're trying to use for the P25 trunking, if that has a calibrate on it or not, because that makes a difference. If the software isn't calibrated to the SDR, you're going to be off frequency and you're going to have issues with it. So it's one thing that I know for sure that it needs to be done if there's a calibrate in there. You'll have to look on that software that you're using. Maybe we can see, which software runs better. Who knows? And let's see, KS9Q, nice to hear you in here, Jim. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Racine repeater, like we always do. And then KT9G net control, Jim. According to my notes here, we're not going to have our QSO tomorrow morning, and so we'll have to talk on Friday. So that's about it. So I'm going to say 73s, everybody, and I'm going to be clear here. This will be it. KT9G, net control. I'll throw it back to you. This is K9MBM. 73s to everybody.
Yeah, K9MBM, KT9G, net control. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I'll chat with you on Friday. I'll be out tomorrow. And as far as calibration goes, the guide that I read said that if you monitor the control frequency and you are tracking it, in that you're getting audio, your calibration's fine. So, like I said, everything was working. It's just that I didn't hear anything on those lower frequencies. Now, that may have just been the case. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll try it again and see what happens. So, all right, 73s, have a great night. W9GTZ, Jim, go ahead. Floor is yours, 73 round.
Whiskey 9, Golf Tango Zulu. Yes, Jim, 2 weeks from tonight, Wednesday, is Christmas, for sure. And I don't know about you, but I'm going to plan on making the MRC Christmas party next Wednesday. So I won't be here next Wednesday or the following one. So I'll say Merry Christmas to everybody. Hopefully we can catch up before New Year's. But if I don't, have a Happy New Year's. Whiskey 9, Golf Tango Zulu, 73s.
All right, 73s, have a great night. Maybe I'll try and hit that. I'll take a look and see. All right, I got you marked as checked out. All right, so last on the list here, 73 around, KD9, JTI. Greg, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Hold it up, oops. KD9, JTI, 73s, everybody. One of these days, well, I'm talking off the HT now. Something went wrong, I don't know, with my base station antenna. All of a sudden my SWR was sky high. I don't know if it's the meter or what. That's another subject, I guess, for next week. Oh well, got a bunch of issues here. KD9 GTI 7 feeds, everybody. Have yourself a good time. Next week, Thursday, I'm going in for surgery. Talk to you later. Bye.
Oh, all right. KD9 JTI, KT9G, net control. Well, good luck with that. Hope everything turns out good for you, and then we'll catch you again another night. 73s. Okay, so with that, that's the end of the list here. Is there anybody else out there, A Alpha through Z Zulu, with any last-minute business or late check-ins? Go ahead. Come out, please.
KT9WQJ. I listened to most of the net, enjoyed it thoroughly. No traffic. Reminder, Christmas party next Wednesday. It's on our Facebook page and on our webpage. Nice net. You always run a nice net. KT9WQJ, clear back to net control.
All right, yeah, KC9WQJ, I got you on the list and marked you as checked out. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, next Wednesday. I'll check up the info. I'll see if we can all make it out. Thanks for that. Anyone else? A Alpha through Z Zulu with any last-minute business or late check-ins? Go ahead. Come now, please. All right, hearing none, I'm going to go ahead and secure this net at 8:23 p.m. And as always, thank you all for participating, and a reminder that this net, along with most other nets here on the 9-1 repeater, welcome new operators to experience net control operations by trying a net or two. If you wish to try acting as a net control operator, please contact our club president, Karen, KC9WQJ, to participate. All of the net scripts are on the club website for you to review. At this point, I will turn the repeater to normal amateur use. Again, my name is Jim, Kilo Tango 9 Golf, and 73s to all.